Happy Friday, troublemakers. We have a fun show today. We have an interview with Alec Vetter coming up. Talk a little bit about some Super Bowl commercials and what do we actually mean when we say push back. I think there's a great way to start.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and
All right, this first day we're bringing in an interview. So we're going to pull an interview we did yesterday with Alex. Excited to have you see that live on the floor at Chicago Auto Show.
My wife was like, it's like phone call Friday, but not exactly.
But on it. Yeah.
It's great.
Right. It is like, but not quite. I love it. Yeah. Phone call Friday. It's fun to randomly call people. We'll do that at some point again. We wanted to start today, first of all, with a word of thanks to everyone who has been in the email, opened the email, signed up for the email. Some people have referred a lot of people to the email, and they're racking up prizes pretty soon. Kyle and I are going to have to show up and mow their lawn. But and one of the great stories is a dealer saying, hey, like I shared it with my team, and we're going to talk about some of the topics at their morning sales meeting. Crazy. And they talked about, there was a Toyota store, and they said, you know, when what happened when they talked about the Toyota article.
The whole team cheered.
I love that. You know, well, here's the deal. If you're not on the email list, sign up. It's asodu.com. It's a lot of fun every morning. And the reason we made it, the whole premise was to get our arms around everyone in the industry, not just the people that read automotive news, not just the people that can go out to NADA and have the time to do things like that, but everyone. The content's for them. We want it to be an aligning force in the industry. So to the people using it that way, exactly as prescribed. Thank you so much. We have to explain something, though. We've had some feedback and some questions about the phrase pushback. Yeah. And we don't want it to be misinterpreted, right? Easy to misinterpret.
It really is.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Because, I mean, you think about that and it's like dealers pushing back or the daily pushback. And, you know, a lot of times when you push back against something, you are making it like the perception is that you're making trouble in the worst way, or that like dealers are trying to band together against like other industry partners, right?
Right. Or OEMs or any, you know, right. That friction.
And that's not the friction that we want. The friction that we want, that we're desiring to instill in so many people is that with the dealers at the lead, right? Because that's like, it's not the OEMs, it's not the industry partners. I mean, we're on the vendor side, you know, a lot, right?
Yep.
It's not us. It's us championing dealers, being the lead, saying, hey, here's the North Star, and pulling. It's like gathering everyone behind and running into this battle against the barbarians that are, whether it be new EV companies or large conglomerate, you know, used car sale options, or market forces like COVID or inflation rates or whatever it may be, that there's always a way to push back against any opposition to successful franchise dealership operations. Right?
Perfect. I mean,
I hope, you know what's cool is like, I feel like I was able to hopefully capture a lot of what you instilled in me and others. And I want that for more people, because you were kind of like the instigator of all this, right?
You do what you can do. I was looking at a video, the very first episode of my podcast, the Clarity Compressed podcast, 208 episodes ago. The very first one was me positioning Dale Pollock's book, saying like, we're just a small reconditioning company. What we can do is help dealers get better at these things. And I forgot that, like, just when I was a small reconditioning company way back in the day, and it's just that heart and that spirit is alive in the industry. So my visual in mind, when I think dealers pushing back, if there are barbarians at the gate, we talk about it, right? You've all seen those movies, right? Where everyone's inside the gate and it's like starting to breach, right? This is us every day pushing back against that, not only pushing back against that, but I imagine us opening the doors and running out of the building, archers on the building, right? Every day, whether that's through a gift, that's through a sales tactic, that's through an interview, whatever it is, that's what we do every morning. That's why it's on the shirt, pushback. I got to start wearing that shirt more. It reminds me, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And that's what troublemaking is really about. And so we want to clarify that because it's been misinterpreted a little bit. We want to make sure everyone knows, dealers, OEMs, industry vendors, it's the entire franchise retail auto dealer movement pushing back against all these other things. So wanted to clear that up on a Friday. Yesterday,
I feel like we missed an opportunity to like have a Braveheart gif, like, or meme.
We did. There's probably going to be an article about this, so we can like put it as part of like our tenets of belief.
Yeah,
on the
I love
website,
George Jones. He's like, you got to put out the tenets. You got to do it.
The tenets are coming. The tenets are coming. We had an awesome Clubhouse room yesterday on the Women Inspiring Automotive room, led by Michelle Denegine and Laurie Halter, talking about female rivalry. It was awesome. I grew up in a house full of women. I have 4 sisters, but we talked about the elements of female rivalry within the industry and how we can change that, and women can help one another and champion one another instead of trying to like be defensive about their position. A great, meaningful conversation. We're gonna have another one here coming up if you're on the live stream in just like 10 minutes, and collabing with David Long in the All Things Used Car Room today. Plot twist, it's all things new cars today. So you can go to asotu.club. If you're on the live stream, click on that, go right through. If you're on the podcast or you're hearing this later on, you can still go to asotu.club, click into the club, and you can hear the replay. You actually have to search All Things Used Cars because it's not on our, sorry about that. Search All Things Used Cars and you can go there. Got a couple news stories and this interview with Alex coming up here in just a second. Super Bowl commercials, car commercials. There are going to be a lot of them.
There's going to be a ton. You know, it's really interesting. Like over the past few years, we've started to see the swing of car commercials really taking some center stage. I mean, like with Matthew McConaughey and some of like the EV stuff that happened last year. We've already seen some sneak peeks this year, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to talk about those next week.
Can you think of your favorite auto car commercial? Does one come to mind?
Man, none come to mind.
Here's the one that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Imported from Detroit. Eminem, Chrysler.
That was strong.
That's gonna win it for me. That just got me fired up.
I remember that. Yeah,
that got me fired up. I'm gonna watch that again. But if you look in the club or in the podcast notes, or on the live stream notes, you're gonna see the link in there, and it's a great car and driver ad that has all the car commercials that are gonna be in the Super Bowl. It's kind of what it is this year in these days, right? You can watch all the commercials ahead of time. So we got Toyota, Polestar, BMW, Carvana, Kia, Nissan, Vroom, a 30-second Vroom behind the scenes on how they made their commercial, because it's kind of like a singing, dancing one. I think that's a real clever play because behind the scenes is fun. Play. And a company I never heard of called Wallbox, which is, at-home electric chargers.
Yep.
That makes sense, right? So click that. A lot of fun for the link. Let's go to this interview with Alex. I couldn't make it here live today because he is kind of serving dealers, kicking it at the Chicago Auto Show. Was good enough to take some time out on press day, give us a little interview, and it's a lot of fun because you get to see where he's at, which is pretty dang awesome. So let's roll into this interview with Alex. All right, Alex, thanks for giving us some time today, first of all, but the car's office looks a little different than the last time I was there.
Yeah, we've added a lot of amenities over the last year. You can come see our track, and our editors really like to try everything out. So come visit us in Chicago. We've got plenty of toys, and you and Kyle are more than welcome to drive whatever you want on our campus.
Perfect. Dibs on the new Bronco.
Yeah, I'm going up a hill in a Bronco in the car. This is great.
So the reason we wanted to have you on today, because big acquisition announcement this week. What has been your response to that? Like, what are you hearing and seeing, and how's the feedback been?
Well, look, the feedback's been fantastic, largely because, long before the announcement, we know what our dealers need, and that's inventory. And so to be able to partner and acquire one of the greatest, trade-in platforms in the industry, trading platforms in the industry, and Accu-trade, and the expertise and wisdom of Bob Hollinshead, who's the single greatest wholesaler that's ever lived, and to have his expertise helping us arm the rebels, as we like to say, giving dealers the power that he's used for decades, and now bringing that power to dealers is a home run. So we've got lots of inbound dealer interest for being a pilot dealer and signing up.
That's what's awesome. That rollout time-wise? What's that rollout going to look like?
Our official launch will be at NADA this year, but obviously we're going to start taking dealers that want to be part of the pilot now and just get them in the stream first, and then but the formal rollout will be at NADA later this quarter.
Awesome. Yeah, so I guess just a little bit more like of the gritty details, because you can only read so much in a press release, but just from the integration with cars.com and and Dealer Inspire, I'm sure there's a lot of plans there to not just make it, oh, we've got a trade tool now, but it actually interacts with the rest of our software. What's the like early talks and how is that going to benefit the dealer from just having more things in one space?
Well, Kyle, look, if you talk to dealerships, it used to be that almost 75% of their sales had a trade-in. That number has dropped into the low, 40s now for a lot of dealers nationally, because a lot of consumers are selling their cars, over online prior to purchase. And we think, and we know that with our distribution power, we can help bring more trade-in volume directly to dealers. So on cars.com, over half of our buyers have a trade-in opportunity. And then we've got organic sellers that come to cars.com every month. And so we'll be packaging this together so that dealers can be a cars.com buying center in their market and acquire all those private seller, cars directly from our marketplace and bring that distribution directly to the dealer. I think the other exciting thing is, we can embed this technology now directly on dealer websites so that they can have one tool set that'll help them acquire trades and or cars, directly from their own website and the cars marketplace and other participants as well.
That's amazing. And so, and then one more question on just like the integration, because, we are in just a situation in our industry where we just have a lot of tools, right? And you said, that one central source of truth, but thinking about how this ties into the rest of the digital process for the dealer, especially with the recent acquisition of Credit IQ, online shopper already being, integrated with the Dealer Inspire piece. How do you see all of those working together in harmony to really create a seamless process, not just for the dealer, but for the customer?
Great question. I think over the next few years, dealers are going to have to reduce the number of vendors that they're working with for spot solutions. And so part of our ethos is to bring power together. So not only just have the best tools and services like Accu-trade, but being able to couple that with the distributional strength of cars.com is a no-brainer. Same thing with the Dealer Inspire websites. We can integrate these things at a fraction of the cost and allow dealers to work with fewer systems and just focus more on generating volume. And so I think that's part of the beauty of our connected platform strategy. We want to enable dealers to operate more efficiently. And importantly, we want to restore profitability in everything the dealers do. And technology is the way to do that.
So NADA is coming up, right? We're on the 4-week countdown. It surprised us this week when someone said, we'll see you in 4 weeks. We're like, is it
Right.
4 weeks from now?
Right.
We're going to be there. Everyone's excited. We just heard that, kind of restrictions are even loosening up a little bit because the numbers are looking good. So that's another reason to get really excited about being together. What are your plans? What are you looking forward to most about your efforts at NADA this year?
Well, look, to your point, seeing all of our partners and customers who's been with us long before COVID and certainly through the pandemic period, I think, number one, I'm just looking forward to seeing a lot of old friends in the physical world. It's been great that we've all been using technology to stay connected, but, this is an industry that's got to keep America rolling. And so just physically getting together again is exciting to me, first and foremost. I think the second thing is also just, hearing what's on the minds of dealerships going into this year. We know that we've got some short-term challenges in supply. We think we've got the right solutions to address it. But, this is an opportunity for us to just listen and hear what our customers are struggling with, and then developing technologies and solutions that'll make their business run.
Well, Alex, thank you for taking time with us again today. I know you're busy there in your sandbox playing around a little bit. We'll see you in a few weeks. I'm sure we'll grab you and talk to you then. But until next time, thank you very much. Take care.
Kyle, Paul, appreciate both of you. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, definitely. See you, Alex.
It's always good to spend some time with Alex.
It really is. Yeah. No, I think I posted last night on LinkedIn. I just said, it's just one of those encouraging things. And I think back to like early pandemic and him just coming out and basically like saying like, NADA, we got to do this thing. We got to go lobby for the dealers to keep them open, right? He was the first person, put out a massive blast email, said, let's sign this petition. Let's get everyone aligned on this, push back, get with your attorneys. And
they hired a lobbyist.
Yeah. They
went to DC.
Like cars.com hired a lobbyist to keep dealers open because Alex Vetter had the foresight to say so. And so every time you bring him in, it's like, arm the rebels, like let's go,
Arming the rebels, right? That's what it is to push back, right? Arming the rebels, caring about one another. We're excited about NAD, but until then, we got some days to go. We're going to have a good day. Sign up for the email. We'll see you in Clubhouse. Keep going.